Hi, Rob here for Shape Your Future Online, and in today's video I'm going to give you tip number 3 out of 5 of what we need to understand when starting an online business. And tip number 3 is all about finding the right mentors and coaches. So if you wanted to see tips 1 and 2, so tip 1 was around finding a clear vision for yourself, and tip 2 was around investing in yourself and the importance of that. Go and check out those videos from the last few days on my YouTube channel, Shape Your Future Online. So what about finding the right mentors and coaches? Well, for a start, what is a mentor, for instance? Well, a mentor really is someone who we seek out for guidance, someone who we want to guide us because they're further down the path than we are. They're in a position where we want to get. And, you know, this is true in any aspect of life, right? If you want to be the best at something, or you want to succeed at least in something, not just online business, it could be anything. And of course, you know, we don't want to copy these people, we don't want to carbon copy them, but we certainly want to model them and understand how they've got to that position that they have, and then put our own spin on it, yeah? Now, you know, do get this question, well, is it really that important to have mentors, you know, in online business? Well, you know, I mean, one analogy I would give is, I don't know, if you're at school or let's say university, you know, maybe you're wanting to be a brain surgeon. Well, you know, you could get out a book and educate yourself and read all about it, and watch some videos on YouTube about brain surgery, if there are any. I'm sure there aren't. But and then you'll be like, oh yes, fine, no problem, sir. If you just like to lay down, and I'll have no problems in cutting open your head and removing this tumor, and everything will be fine. Trust me, it's okay. Well, I can imagine what the patient's response will be to that, right? But what about the guy who takes the time to read the books, to study, and then to get a mentor, a hardened, seasoned professional brain surgeon who's worked for many years in this field and shows you exactly how to do it, where to cut, what you're doing wrong, hopefully perhaps on a cadaver or something like that first. But that would enable you then to have the confidence and the patient's confidence for you to able to go and then do that brain surgery, right? No different in online business. You know, we can do all of the education and watch all the YouTube videos and do all the online training that we want, but unless we're getting real good mentoring and first-hand mentoring as well, people who we can actually physically talk to, not just watching maybe someone who you might consider a mentor, you know, on a YouTube channel, for instance. That is what's going to enable us to be super successful, and it's where so many people will fail. When you hear people say they've tried to set up online businesses and failed, quite often it's because they're not putting all these steps into place that I'm talking about in this video series this week. So it's extremely important to find the right mentor. Now, how do you go about finding one? I mean, you can't just walk up to someone who's a 6, 7, 8-figure online business owner and just say, well, you know, I've just been watching a few videos and I'm thinking about getting started online, you know, would you help me please? Well, I'm sure that person is either A, going to be far too busy, or B, if they're an online business owner, is probably wanting to do other things as well, because it frees up so much time, of course. You know, no one's going to help you if you have no value to give whatsoever. And so the first thing that you really need to do is to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself around, if it's online business, digital marketing, how to utilize social media, how to make videos, how to script videos, how to write blogs, how to do whatever avenue it is that you want to go down in terms of setting up an online business. And it's important that you do get not just the grounding, but start to learn and master things, because then what you need to do is you really need to find a community of people who are all in the same boat, are all looking to build online businesses. And there are different levels of people within there, people with different talents, people who are more technically minded about digital marketing, some people who are really good on Facebook or YouTube, people who are good at connecting and influencing people, people who are good at coaching, etc. And once you find a community of people like that, and you've got your education together and you start adding value, your own value within that community, we all have our skills, you know. Mine is all about authentic speaking, really, with the community that I'm involved with. And once you start to show that value, you know, the mentors will start to appear, you know. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So it's really, really important to A, educate yourself, and B, find that community where you're going to find mentors, people who are further down the path from you, and people who you can add value to from the things that you've learned, right? So for me, I talked yesterday about investing in yourself, and one of those things was education, of course. There were a few things that I spoke about yesterday. Go and check out that video on investing in yourself that I did yesterday on my YouTube channel if you want to see that. But getting that education and applying that in a community is what I've done to help me to start to succeed online. To the point where, I have mentors, and I myself am now starting to mentor people who are starting to come through. So for me, it was all about joining the Six Figure Mentors, or SFM community, that I'm now part of. And that community provides you with the education, which I've been using for 18 months and I will continue to use for the rest of my days, I would imagine, as I'm online. And then it also provides the proper mentoring services. Of course, it's called the Six Figure Mentors, right, for a reason. People who are mentors in that community are at least six-figure earners with their online business. We have 6, 7, and 8-figure earners within that community. So if you would like to join the community, I will put a link underneath. There should be, if you're on my website here, there'll be a yellow button underneath to join the SFM. If you're on YouTube watching it here, or on Facebook, there'll be a link underneath. You can make an application to join that community. Come along, find your education, find your mentoring, find your training, and you'll be able to really start to progress with starting an online business from scratch with no prior experience, just like I did at the beginning of 2018. I'll leave it at that. Tomorrow I'm going to talk more about the community aspect of growing an online business, how that can help creating the right circle of influence, because as Jim Rohn says, if you've heard of Jim Rohn and heard him speak, on YouTube, that would be, he says that we are the average of the people that we surround ourselves with, and that's certainly true. There's an exercise that we can do, and I will talk to you about in tomorrow's video. Speak to you in the next video. Bye now.